Perfect voice, the perfect gentleman. Talat Mahmood, India's trailblazing Ghazal king, would have been 100 this year. A biography by his grandniece Sahar Zaman not just marks the milestone, but takes us down memory lane, tracing his life from Lucknow to Bombay. She sits down for an interview with us. Ladies and gentlemen, we are welcoming Sahar Zaman, the author of Talat Mahmood, the definitive biography, here in our studios. Sahar, thank you very much and welcome back to Mirror Now. You've of course been associated with the channel for a really long time.
Lovely memories, but even better to be back when you're holding the chair.
Thank you so much. And again, as I said, welcome back. Tell me, what made you write the book? I know there's a connection here.
Yes.
He's your grand uncle.
Yes, yeah.
Is that why the book came about, or was there something else?
It was something on my mind, but ever since I started about 5-6 years ago, on the side, I had started a musical tribute platform in his name. So I, of course, knew him as a grand uncle, sweet old grand uncle to have at home, cute, impish, naughty moments. He would take us around the city when we came home, when we came to Bombay for our summer holidays. So that's how I knew him, and apart from his hit songs in the golden era. But when I started doing this tribute concert, I started actually as a journalist researching on his career, on his life, and I realized that he was just not only a filmy superstar or a singing star of our Indian film industry. His journey was beyond just being an artist, and I realized it can't fit in a concert, and I must do a book. And the timing was perfect, you know, Shreya, because this year, 2024, we're looking at his centenary. So as a journalist, I was very much keeping timing in mind.
Timing is everything, in life and in politics, and for an author as well, yes.
Yeah, so the timing was perfect, and I felt very strongly about his story, which had to be told.
Why did you feel so strongly about his story? Why did you think it needed to be told? You know, we all know him as someone who made Ghazals fashionable in post-independent India.
Yes.
But there was much more to his life.
Yes, much more to just his filmy career, much more to just his Ghazal career. Very pioneering facets to decisions he made. You know, he was like a gentle rebel. Even just the fact to decide to get into the film industry for someone who came from a very cultural yet conservative Muslim household in Lucknow, to leave everything and decide that this is what I want to do in life. So that was pioneering for that time, you know, in the 1930s. But other things like he was the first Indian playback singer to start world tours. There was no one else doing that before him. So he did his first world tour to East Africa in 1956.
All the way to East Africa?
Yes, because there was a huge demand for Indian songs and his ghazals there. And unko dekhte, looking at him, his friends, Mukesh ji, Lata Didi, they started their world tours looking at the success of his world tours, you know. The first to start in America and have a lengthy tour in the UK, or to perform at the Royal Albert Hall. So he started mapping, he started building a route for all his other colleagues that, you know, these are the cities, these are the towns where you have an Asian diaspora demand, and this is where we can do our concerts. So that was very pioneering to be the first, way back in 1956. And then when he was the chairperson of the India Playback Association, he was the first officially to start the demand for royalty rights for singers. I mean, in an official capacity, he started that demand. And Lata Didi was already part of that activism. Kishore Kumar, Mukesh ji, they all joined in, you know, for the royalty battle. And the industry in the 1960s, when he raised this demand, for the first time had a mic down protest. Like, you have a pen down protest, you put the mic down. So for 3 months, studios were shut. No singers were recording any songs. Many such pioneering aspects in his life, which I felt were beyond just being an artist, you know. I mean, he was a thinking man. He did much beyond that.
And he had a great collaboration with Dilip Kumar. He was the voice of Dilip Kumar in the entire Tragedy King. Did his personality match the Tragedy King tag?
No, it's very strange, you know, because people ask me, he had all these sad songs, even though he did a lot of peppy duets, a lot of happy peppy duets, but the sad ones just touched people's core and they remained longer in people's memory. So they think that a lot of people ask me this, you know, was he a very serious and sad guy? I said no. As how I remember him as my granddad, or how my mom remembers him as her uncle, he was this live wire. He was this peppy, lively guy, always cracking jokes and pulling your leg. He was a very different person. So I really don't know how he managed those emotions in his songs. And when you mentioned Dilip Kumar, Yusuf Saab, so when Dilip Kumar was doing those films, which is called his Tragedy King phase, so I'm going to quote filmmaker Muzaffar Ali on this, because on one of my book talks, he said something which I think cannot be bettered. He said, it was Talat Mahmood who made Dilip Kumar immortal through his voice during his Tragedy King phase, you know. So he has films like Devdas and Footpath and Arzu, which epitomized Dilip Kumar's Tragedy King phase. But all of them were with Talat Mahmood's voice, you know. And a great friendship. They were personally very alike. Behind the scenes, they had a very long friendship, even though professionally their paths diverted. But right till the late 80s, when Talat Mahmood released his comeback Ghazal album, he was there to launch it and support it. And personally, they were both very soft people, fond of Urdu poetry, fond of literature. Dilip Kumar was once asked, what does he feel about Talat Mahmood? So he said that even though Mukesh and Rafi Saab have given me great hits, but Talat was someone who spoke to my musical soul. So that was how strongly they felt for each other in that sense.
You know, all of us, I mean, I don't know how many people, you know, who are watching, the younger ones, may not, you know, connect with Talat Mahmood.
Right.
But I remember Jalte Hain Jiske Liye.
Yes.
That's probably one of his most famous
yeah, like a signature.
Yeah. But during the course of, you know, writing the book, during the course of organizing concerts, what were the most demanded songs? You know, it'll be interesting to know what songs from that era actually still resonate today.
Top of the list, Jalte Hain Jiske Liye. And the next was Itna Na Mujhse Tu Pyar Badha.
I remember that one.
Yeah, really foot tapping. Top favorite still. Incidentally, both of them are on Sunil Dutt Saab. The ones with Dilip Kumar are from Devdas. There's another film from which the song is Ye Hawa, Ye Raat, Ye Chandni. So these were in top demands. And interestingly, some of his non-film ghazals were also in top demand, which people would always say, you know, कि इसको ज़रूर गाइए, whoever were my performing artists at that time. Such as Tasveer. There's a non-film song of his called Tasveer, which was released in 1944, which was also the very early phase of his career. But that was a blockbuster at that time. It still continues to be a blockbuster.
Also, when you go to NDA,
yes,
they have a very interesting story to tell about Talat Mahmood. So you'd think, here's a Bombay singer, and what's the connection with the army and the NDA? Go ahead, tell us the story.
So this was in the course of my research. I found out, I was going through my family albums, and there are many pictures of him with Major General Habibullah, who was the first commandant of the NDA. And so I asked my mom and I asked my extended family. The Habibullahs are also related to us. So Talat Mahmood and Major General Habibullah were cousins. And when the Habibullah Hall was made at that time, and when he was still very much on campus and handling situations in 1957, he called him to perform for the passing cadets. And at that time we had Major General Thimayya, who was the chief, as a visiting chief guest, and Talat Mahmood was invited to perform for him and the cadets with Major General Habibullah. So that makes him once again the first singer to perform at the NDA for the cadets. So that was a lovely story. And I remember during the course of my research going to Khadakwasla, looking at the Habibullah Hall, talking to people and getting more stories, and it's just an incredible chapter in the book, you know.
All the very best, Sahar, for the book. The book is called Talat Mahmood, The Definitive Biography. Ladies and gentlemen, if any one of you is interested in music, do go pick it up. Thank you so much.